Brr. InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. From energy to matter, or manifesting spirit into reality. How are things shaping up for you? Had some shapes, sigils, signs, or totems? Or you may be sabotaging yourself due to getting in your own way or perfecting, over perfecting. Just knowing things are perfect as they actually are. So life truly does bring us the bounty of tests. And holding these streams of an optimistic venue, whoo, can I just say it's really streaming cold in my part of the world. That's why I'm always in my sweater. Hope you don't mind. I have my great hairdo. But here we are. So having or being mindful of those streams, that really is the key to access our connection to the streams of love and just adding more to our own personal chalice and keep adding more and more. Love, that connection, the streams, personal love streams, the seeds of this stream grows from our inner garden of value. It actually comes from the outer realms, if you will, or the outer worlds. So how do you value yourself? Do you give yourself time and space? Do you have your own personal value system or streams, or are you being valued by yourself and by others? So we have in the streams of shifting seasons. So you may feel that your mind literally comes online today, which is that optimistic venue, right? So if you have people in your garden that are trying to lower your net value, usually it's due to you being creative and doing something, and they're still sitting on the couch or doing the same thing that they've always done, expecting that different result. So being between the threads of value and mindset, or did you create a heartfelt value system that resonates with your mind? So I started doing the 3s, the 6s, and the 9s, writing down first thing in the morning, the 3 things that are, or the 1 sentence, I should say, writing it 3 times a day, first thing in the morning, then midday 6 times, and then again 9 times before going to bed. Just helping cleanse the mind of those thoughts, right? Keeping it optimistic. But welcome to today's Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I am a practicing holistic shaman and medium, merging the two, the otherworldly life coach and a subtle energetic surgeon, if you will. But I do go by the term holistic medium, just blending shaman and mediumship, along with holism, all together into one little category. So yeah, kind of mischievous, but still kind of mystical. But my intention is to utilize the power of these indigenous technologies, the original blueprint, the elemental realms, navigating our soul's harmonic through the realm of the elementals, the elemental highway, into the imaginal realms, the cosmos, with these subtle energies, elements, and elemental beings, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals to add to your personal container to really stir up the cosmic soup, the juice. But really, my goal is to merge all of this authentically, the wisdom of these indigenous technologies with the subtle realms, the etheric highway, to assist you into navigating your prime directive, your inner genius, the star that I believe we all are. I believe, seriously, we all have our own magical star, just reintroducing us to that magical essence that resides within us, so we can all shine our light even brighter, staying optimistic, hopefully, right? But my name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. So we are in the last threads, the last frequency of the energy of Taurus, heading into the Earth star. So I hope you too have raised the bar during the season of Taurus, your inner value system, and cleansing your cosmic highway of people who aren't valuing you or spreading your values too thin. So our solar plexus is actually going to be online during the season of Gemini and Mercury. Mercury is doing the dance. So you may be more intuitive or you may be more logical, depending on what dance Mercury was doing when you were born. So these subtle energy bodies go from an earth state to an air state, taking time and space to notice these subtle frequencies, these subtle body changes, these energies where you have added creativity. What are you producing? And has your heart been kind to you? So have you cleansed your environment of the negativity? Does your environment support your magic, your light? So it really is important to surround ourselves with energies that are in alignment with the frequency that we are moving towards. So it really is time for these optimistic thoughts, these airwaves. And the moon herself has entered Aquarius. So this mental acuity, the realm of air, is really online. It's social, it's society, it's vibrational waves, it's the winds, it's the elementals as well, right? They all have a transformation stage, but you may find that you too may receive an epiphany, an insight that literally is otherworldly, may seem a little woo-woo, a little bit out there. Something that it really just appears that it's way out there. So if you haven't already, please do be kind and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tanya D. And also go ahead and hit the bell button so you too are notified. And also, if you don't mind, liking, sharing, or even commenting on the videos. So a comment or a share gets you a message for your day. Just saying, and I have one for you today, Claire. So the algorithm there, it'll echo out to like-minded musers in the galactic universe, and also muse about the insights of the other world, source, spirit, and the beings, and so much more, along with other channels, social media, TikTok, Instagram, and my Musing with Tanya D podcast. So if your soul wishes to dive deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. That's where I have a digital library in my Musing Corridor to assist you and to guide you. I really am your shamanic assistant, Sha medium. You really are your own healer. But the Archangel of Gemini is going to be arriving in your inbox on Monday. I may talk about Zadkiel, Archangel Zadkiel, an angelic being. That's kind of what I see them as. However, I will more than likely send you to my Musing with Tanya D podcast for this one. But being that we are in the in-between streams, going from one season to the next, cosmically, otherworldly, planetary elementalies, the elements, the day, we're going to receive new month energy in June for the elementals, if that makes sense. They're always a little bit different on the corridor there, but I do, again, have a message for you, Claire. So again, thanks for tuning in, commenting, sharing is kind of daring. But if you are new to my show, commenting, sharing, it gets you a message in the show. And if you wish to pick a card, I will actually show you the choices and you can go over each one. But I am going to bring in the Fae today, and who doesn't love the little beings in the unseen? So before we continue on, I'm going to show you the 3 cards, and then you can choose. There we go. So we've got the Fae. Card 1 has a citrine. Card 2, I know what that is, and I cannot remember the name. Card 3, obviously, that is a obsidian there. So pick your card. And once you have it all ready, I will go. Take that breath and take that pause. And if you chose card 1, look at this. This is great. You can either go with one message or listen to all 3, but this is Geeeoooow the Slooow. So Geeeoooow is part of the helpline troop. These are the Fae, the little beings that are our helpers, and they assist us in our day-to-day lives. They're associated with the elemental realms, which I so love. The elementology of air, wind, fire, earth, water, ether, nature, plants, the galaxy, just all the elementals. There's so many, right? Stone. But these ones, they prefer to play and meet us out in nature. However, they will meet us wherever we are, but they do prefer the natural world. They like practicing natural magic. But Geeeoooow the Slooow, so he is cycles of time. It is slowness. It's waiting. It's being patient. He's the gnome. He's the gnome of a slow process. So if you were in Voices of the Other World, he's part of this habitat. Well, actually, they all are, but I totally talked about the gnomes. So it's like, for him, it's how long is it going to take for the water to wear down or to move the rock away, or how much has the mountain grown or eroded over the last millennium of time and space. So he is a watcher. He's the watcher of the cycles of time, and he's attentive in watching. He makes sure that things don't happen too fast, resulting in a slipshod, half-assed kind of job. So it's him that watches the waves slowly encroach on the seashores, wearing away at the cliffs, but he's also watches how the mountains, certain ones are growing taller, just keeping everything in balance. He's also a master of the clarification process, becoming clear about something, where we let something just sit quietly and the impurities slowly kind of settle themselves out, allowing the substances to purify itself in time. So he doesn't understand why we rush about as we do, just missing out on the slow changes in the world around us. He really is amazed at the stress and the problems that we create, self-induced, for ourselves by doing just that, rushing around. And he wonders often how we can survive if we don't calm down and just sit still, taking time and space to really watch the sunsets and the sunrises, or if we don't have time to enjoy our lives in Earth School here, especially if we are so busy running around, rushing around with ideas that are really making things good for ourselves later, but never in the moment, in the now. But the thing about his process, which is great, is that they all proceed in good order. Fruit always ripens on time. The harvest always comes when it's necessary. The moon and the earth cycle and circle around each other, creating balance. Nothing's ever too quick or too slow. So these natural processes just work really well in our day-to-day lives. So they make useful role models. So he really is the elemental. I can just relate to him seasonally with the elemental realm as well. Just finding the right pace, the pace that allows for the natural, the low stress growth, the progress, and the joy. It really is about the baby steps. You know, I have people give me crickets all the time when I go live, but it's about the baby steps, right? My village is not for everyone. And the world isn't going to turn any faster. So we may just ask ourselves, like, why are we trying to cram so much into our days? So it really is a message to slow down, sit back in our chair and take a breath, think a little bit, like, why are we trying to go so fast? And what is it that we're hoping to gain from this? And metaphorically, are we trying to push the river or the stones? Or what kind of stress is created in our lives by rushing or hurrying? It really is important to give things time and space, right? Babies aren't made in an afternoon. They gotta be in the womb, cuddling and getting their own time and space. But the presence of Geo today for the weekend, I may add, indicates that a situation or an issue is part of a long process that cannot be hurried. So it's important to settle in for the long haul, the duration, setting a pace that we can maintain for as long as is needed, while at the same time remaining relaxed and being patient. So if you are short on patience, you know, it really is important to call in the singer of the chalice, finding life much more delightful when we call in those singers. And if you do, Geo clearly does as well. I mean, you can tell by the look on his face. He is holding time and he is holding space. And also, being that he is card 43, I don't know if you can see that in the top corner. So this is where does my heart believe I belong? The 3 to the 4. And when we have a knowing within our heart where we belong, our heart believes it, we then are in alignment, connected to the realm of spirit source. So this is the cycles of time, its nature, stuff like that. And following Geo, if you picked message number 2. So Geo's asking us to give time and space, not rush around, be patient. The card number 2, this is great. This is the singer of intuition. Maybe you can see the 7 there. So 7 is spirit. So how fun is that? So our spirit is online. 7 is our intuition. It's our psychic intuitive gifts. The singers of the realm, they do the song of the universe. The singers of these realms, they are the great ones. Their wingspan the multiverse in all directions, all dimensions, all galaxies. We've given them a variety of names: angels, divas, gods, goddesses, etc. But angels transcend every religion, every philosophy, every creed. In fact, angels have no relation as we know it. Their existence kind of precedes every religious system that has ever existed. And it really doesn't matter to them what we call them. They just hope that we call upon them. So these are the singers of this underlying song of the universe to the other realms and also to us. These are the great ones, the ones who show us what we really have the potential of ultimately becoming, which I find curious on this last day in the season of Taurus, this degree. But we have you know, if we fall off our path, they really guide us and they comfort us on that return, being that they are constantly with us. Their energy, their compassion, forgiveness is always with us. So since we have this singer online, it's insight into following and being aware of events and acknowledging the essence of the singer of intuition in our life. That's when the circuitry becomes balanced. And when thanking this energy and being grateful and grounding it into the physical realm with this energy, this essence, just opening ourselves to the singers through prayer, meditation, or just simple acts of kindness or love back to them, we then allow this essence to really flow through us. So this is super magical, and this is just the beginning. But the singer of intuition, I mean, can you see the magical essence of all the purples and the pinks and the whites and even the blues in this card, the indigos? So this really does remind me of the language of light as well. It's a spiritual connection card, a placeholder for spirit, giving time and space through meditation or prayer to connect with spirit. It's our perceptiveness, it's our oracular powers, it's awareness, it's trust in spirit, in protection of spirit, knowing we are protected by the realms. So the singer carries the song of all the information that there is. It's the library in the sky. It's the records, the shadow records, the book of life, the Akashic, the tree of knowledge, or the tree of life, or both, all. So these are the ones they say that we have to go to get the information intuitively or psychically. However, we don't need to go anywhere. The song is in our essence. It's in our beingness, our DNA, our bones, our blood, our flesh. So just as it is within the rest of the universe, we can always improve our own personal soundbar, our reception center. But the energy of this song, if we were to consciously hear it at its fullness, I should say, we would become overwhelmed. Our mind would be frazzled or burned by this energy. So we generally only hear little bits and pieces of this melody. It came in during the full moon eclipse, some of it for me then, but just developing our skills of actively listening for this song. And in doing so, occasionally a few of those notes kind of resonate so closely with our own essence, our own being, that we become aware of them as well. So they're usually what we call gut instincts or hunches, our intuitive gifts, or extended sense perception or hypersense perception. I think there's different words, whatever. Hello there. So we can improve our reception of the song by listening, by being still. So we can also amplify the songs of these singers. And this is what we get when we practice stillness or meditation, listening, asking, and listening, or simultaneously doing both. We then open the door to this ability to understand and interpret all the symbols, sigil shapes, and meta symbols and symbolism, oracles, omens, stars, portents, and even the movement of the stars and all of the juice, all of the fabric, this one piece of this song. And it's also a part of each and every one of us. So patience and practice is all part of the song of intuition. All of our subtle senses, all of the clairs, the seeing, the hearing, the knowing, telepathy, and all of it. It's the cosmic juice, man. So being that the singer is otherworldly, it's a message to ask ourselves, how can I learn to be more quiet within myself or more peaceful? Or how can I better listen to the song of knowledge and wisdom? It's ancient wisdom. This is the origin, actually, of intuition. So I mean, this is a message to take if you can. My Change Your Stars quiz, possibly check out Change Your Stars, my online digital program, which ironically is at a savings this month. But that really is the message of the singer of intuition. So message 3, if you chose that one, or if you're just playing along, if you're ready, just you can't make this stuff up. I just love how the messages come in with the cards as too. There we go. This is the singer of courage, which you can't, I mean, can you see this one? This one looks even like a light language as well. A message there. But the singer of courage is card 8, if you can see that in the corner. And card 8 is an infinity. It's a pulsating force, if you were to look at it. It symbolizes infinity. It's the energy of Saturn. It's being responsible. It's being a leader, being accountable. So it's like, are you giving time to your leadership abilities and are you trusting that you are accountable? So 0 is always a placeholder before the first 9 numbers. 0 holds space and it also holds time. It's about trusting and protecting our own sacred sphere. But the singer of courage is bravery. It's the sublimation of fear. It's moral strength. And Saturn is also what we fear. It's our limitations. So somebody once said that courage is not the absence of fear, but that which enables us to experience the fear and not be stopped by it. I'm kind of funny. I like to challenge my fears, but I have Saturn in Aries. So that's just kind of where it's at. And it's at this magical degree of integrity. So it's always with integrity with those fears. However, fear, to not be stopped by it, it then enables us to do what is right, even when there's pressure from others around us to do something different, peer pressure, right? So it's what enables us to really go ahead into the unknown, into the other worlds, into the perilous, where there are no guarantees of safety and security in our lives. So we're often, even constantly, we're confronted with a new world, a new way of being in the world, a new way of seeing or being seen even. So ordinarily, just living takes courage, authenticity, and to rise above the ordinary into the extraordinary also takes a lot of courage, even more courage than we probably assume. But one of the keys to courage is finding the fear or consider the fear and find a way to let the energy of fear itself power the action, be the force, I guess. So that kind of is authentic courage. So often people think of courage as being a part of high heroism, which it is, but it also has this quiet hidden side as well that may require greater courage because we cannot expect the rewards of praise or approval for it. So what does that look like? There's no courage is needed to be unhappy or self-pitying, right? We don't need to be self-disciplined or wise for that. However, to open our hearts, to take the risks, to be vulnerable to joy and trust requires all of those things, especially courage within each and every one of us. So, you know, there is a terrified inner mouse that we all have, and there's also the brave inner hero. So either part of us can take over from the other, so we get to choose who really is in charge. The mouse is kind of like this magician with only one little trick, and that's to cast the illusion that is as big as an elephant, say, and then fear nearly overwhelms us, but we still have a choice. So learning to live with and manage that reactive little animal within involves transforming of those emotions like rage and fear into courage. So it's through kind of self-discipline and the assistance of the singer of courage that this all happens. So most people have decided by the age of 3 or 4 what they must do in order to survive. And so from this space of decision, because the 8 is decision, it's an incision in consciousness. So this belief about how the world is, most of our fears and self-limitations grow. So, you know, have we the courage to discover and break through those limiting beliefs and just awakening to the greater infinite possibilities and go for our own authenticity, our own objectives? So we really need to transcend our fears and accept the gift of courage. So embracing our fears can also be courageous. So yeah, I thought that was super cool, the singers. So they're just online. I think we are being called to utilize our intuition, ground, and connect. And for you, Claire, is that you listening on YouTube? I don't know. All it says is YouTube user. But this is Faff the Footer, which I find curious. He's part of the fairy challengers. These challengers bring us face to face with our fears, our denials, inner traumas, insecurities, confusion, delusions. You know, they do the tests. They keep us from getting lazy. So this is being real. It's earthing, it's grounding, it's centering. So just as life is becoming surprising, exciting, and kind of interesting, very interesting, Faff the Footer, this little fae, he comes in to check our feet of all things. He's got remarkable little strong hands checking our toenails and noticing if we are taking care of our feet. And what's funny is if he finds any disrespect to our feet and also to the earth mama, as we are walking upon her with our unkept feet, he marks them up by creating holes in our socks or problems with our shoes, forcing us to walk barefoot under the moon. So this is the test to get us back on the terra firma of the earth. So don't try to do anything important or make any significant decisions until you have literally come back to earth. So this is as if your feet are stuck in the air and will not work, even if you're lucky. And if you are unlucky, it will work, but not at all in the way that you intend or hope it will. And I don't think I saw or said anything about the card number, which is 58, being mindful of your decisions and your commitments. So this is literally coming off of that Singer of Courage, the 8, committing and being mindful. That's a positive attitude, which when we commit to a positive mindset, our heart believes and we know where we belong. So that really is a task. But being that Faff the Footer is otherworldly, this is a sign of getting help. Get somebody to send a balloon up and bring you back down to earth, pulling you back down with it. This is actually kind of urgent. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it feels impossible to really contact and connect you from or to planet Earth because you're floating off in your own personal soap bubble, possibly. So it's like a message to come back, and this is something of an urgency, something that you should do now. So the world is full of little sharp edges for soap bubbles to run into, because then they pop, they tumble, they splat around us onto the ground or into dark and dangerous waters below. But the better choice is to bring ourselves gently down into the embrace, the comforts of the Earth Mama, or alternatively, learning to fly properly. So this also speaks of those who draw their energy from others rather than from source. Source is the song of ecstasis, having lost awareness of that fundamental connection. So it may indicate that we have lost a proper sense of ourselves as whole and holy, and are seeing ourselves as much less than we actually are. So with this card and the 2 singers online today, connection to the realms is absolutely needed. Grounding and meditation, right? So this is like furthering that connection, but taking time and space with our first card, Geeeoooow the Slooow, and being that we are in the last hours of the season of Taurus, this is when things take shape. They create form, energy to matter. Things materialize. They become something manifest, and hopefully they become manifest with integrity. So you may be hyper aware like me. I carry this frequency naturally. It is what it is. So the details, things being perfect, you may notice things out of place. Be kind, be compassionate, be forgiving to yourself, and go with the flow. So things are going to be tested. We're learning about our own innate self-worth, our values, our personal worth and values. So really being in sync with our feelings, which are otherworldly, by the way. That may be why Faff the Footer actually showed up today, and Geeeoooow the Slooow, to go with the flow. It's like, are we feeling valued? What will make us feel valued as we journey forward, creating that abundance, that creation to become reality? So integrity is a thing for this alignment to take shape. It all transpires. Things have to have integrity or they fall apart. It's the tower. And then following on the elemental highway, we have a Yin Water Rooster of a day. So, you know, it's a Gui You day. Yin is a balance between the yin and the yang. Water is misty. It's like light rain, but our water has no root in the branches. There's no water down there. There is another metal, but there's no water at all. So it's weak, not weak like yesterday, but metal again is needed. To produce the water. The rooster does produce water for our day. That's a resource or a support for water. So our day is it's going to get overheated. The snake is, even though there's only one little fire element there, it's in its season. So it's happy, it is strong. So it's going to get stronger. And we don't need more fire. It's only going to create more earth, which is hidden down below, and diminish the frequency of our day. But our neighboring super god that comes from the day, it shows up in the month. This is the artist. So this could be local artist skills, fine taste for luxury, gourmet foods, communicating, people who communicate great, public gatherings, getting out and being social, and the love of intellectual challenges. But our global god today, which sometimes we don't have these, this has been pretty curious during The last month with the dragon, we didn't have any of these gods. So this is interesting how the gods are changing every day. But it's a networking god. So this is social, chatty, talk fast, people who gain followers on social networking, right? So these are leadership abilities. It comes to the ability to connect with different people from different social circles. It doesn't matter if it's higher or lower. It does have a negative side though, being a spendthrift, people who hoard money, I guess, they're tight. I don't have that issue. Unable to manage money, that may be me, just kidding. Issues with addiction or using lies to deceive people kind of reminds me of Bernie Madoff in a weird way. Two sides of the same coin, but it's kind of interesting. But we, Earth would kind of be okay for our day, or water. I would go with water. Maybe I would actually go to the water, go to a river, flowing water, get some clarity, find some reconciliation, some peace, filling into the feels, the emotional cup. So it's like our feelings aligned into integrity within our chalice. Maybe like me, your intuition becomes tested. So you have like this fearlessness, becoming fearless, or holding spiritual faith today. In response, it's always the connection to love, to source self-love into the chalice that maintains that integrity. So it's time to eliminate and flick away self-doubt, self-sabotage, and really being in touch with what our heart syncs with and believes should be happening. And the things that are faulty, like Faff the Footer, up in the air, ungrounded, they may surface today or need our attention. So be kind, be self-loving, hold space, love yourself, be accepting for yourself. See how far you have come. I think people don't pat themselves on the back enough or bow in the mirror at themselves. So what is it that you created that is taking form, taking shape? Feelings hold the answers along with the hows. So we respond, how we respond to ourselves. So as things take shape to being manifest, the essence of manifestation, you're going to feel the alignment and allow things to flow into that alignment. And again, don't over criticize yourself or self sabotage. Just allowing the universe, the singers are really online. Courage, be fearless, love the creation and the creator more. You are the creator. And with the metal element, I would go with metal. Journal your thoughts of gratitude, recognizing how far you have come with what it is that you are creating. So it's like the sauce, it's simmering, and our earth star and our high heart are online. So I would utilize the seed sound of yam in your heart space, bring in that nurturing, loving tone into the earth plane. It's a day to ground. So with that, I'm not, I don't want to really say I'm sorry. I don't know if your message, Claire, but it wasn't, I don't think it was just for you. I think we do need to ground. We have to ground in order to manifest and to bring things into reality. Otherwise, things really just stay in the realm of the singers. So it is about grounding, centering, meditation, our intuition, practicing being still. I think a lot of people should have like a morning ritual or that habitat where we just connect with the realm of spirit, our ancestors, the otherworldly beings. But I would affirm that I am grounded, centered, and taking a bow in that cosmic mirror, adding value to my personal streams day in and day out. And we really are our greatest assets, keeping our village clean. So if anything disrupts your field, brings in chaos or drama, just be still, watch, release in the mists of rain, a river. And with that, thanks for tuning in. And I will see you on the other side, or at least we're out musing on Monday. Blessings to you. Hopefully my house is warm by then. Ashe.